Okay, we are now officially recording. Welcome everybody to a Thursday night, November 5th. Oh my gosh, November is already moving super fast. Do you guys feel that already? Because I don't know if it's like the election or that has us all antsy or what is going on, but it just feels like, you know, we're already almost done with the very first week of November. So yikes. So, but before we get started with what I have to share tonight, I wanted to do some recognition for last month. I wanted to recognize Amy. She's on tonight. She promoted to certified consultant right at the 11th hour on the very last night. So that was super exciting. We have a team member named Teresa who actually double promoted last month. She promoted to certified consultant at the beginning, and then at the end, she promoted to lead. So that was really exciting. Amanda promoted to superstar consultant last month. And we had 2 people hit Sensational Start Level 2 last month. That was such a huge deal. We had Becky hit Sensational Start Level 2 and Dina hit Sensational Start Level 2. And then we had a few people paid at title. So Melissa was paid at title, Superstar Consultant, which is awesome. Amanda was paid at title, obviously, because she promoted. Jessica was paid at title for the 2nd month in a row, which was exciting. Dina was paid at title for the 2nd month in a row. And, well, Teresa, because she promoted, so she was paid at title too. So we had a few paid at title, which is super exciting. And of course, if you are a superstar or a certified consultant, you were paid at title if you had PRV. So those are our leaders. Most of our leaders actually were paid at title last month. So that was very, very exciting. All right. Moving on to a few announcements. The warmers and stuff that released today were still available the last time I checked. However, other stuff is starting to sell out. So like the hand soap sold out today, which I almost grabbed one at the very last minute, and I was like, no. And then I saw they sold out, and I was like, dang it, I should have grabbed another one. But those sold out today. And then all the bricks are still available, which is great. And we have lots of things coming up. In Heidi and Orville's video, they kind of alluded to maybe a 2nd season of The Mandalorian, bringing back the Child Buddy, maybe even some other things for Star Wars. We do at some point this month, we're going to have the Very Snowy Spruce cleaning bundle. We're going to have that amazing fireplace warmer that's going to be releasing. And then we have Sven, the Sven Buddy, coming out sometime this month. So make sure that you guys are keeping an eye on your news tab for when those are releasing. Today I felt like I almost, I know Melissa was on with me today. I almost like the queue system better now because I kind of have an idea of when, oh yeah, Snow Kiss Cranberry, the Snow Kiss Cranberry body bundle is releasing too. Yes, thank you, Melissa. But yeah, so I almost like the queue system because they did not use the queue today. And so I didn't know when it was releasing. I was like typing it in, refresh, typing it in, refresh. And I was like, dang, I really kind of like the queue system because it kind of gives me an idea of when I can, like when to expect things to start releasing. So, I mean, as like, I don't know, I don't want to say annoying, but as annoying as the queue system was at first, now I kind of like it and I kind of miss it. So hopefully they continue to do that with the releases that are coming out. So watch your news tabs for when those are coming out. Yeah, and it's not so laggy. So Melissa, I'm going to put on my glasses because I see her typing and I can't read. So I'm like trying to get up close to read the chat, but then I have to be back. So I'm going to put on my glasses so I can chat back and forth with you. But yeah, it's not so laggy. Like Melissa was having issues. She said, I'll stop now. But she was having issues, like it kept kicking her out. And that was like mine kept thinking and thinking and thinking. And I was like, is it going to release now because it's thinking so much? But anyway, I like the queue system. I'll just go on record with saying that. Okay, so tonight we're going to talk about a couple of things that I haven't chatted about before. And one of those is like some ways to prepare for the season coming up. And also not just in your Scentsy business, but I wanted to share a system with you guys that I use in my home business. not my home business, in my home to help me organize my brain and my family as far as gift giving and just to keep me organized. So I wanted to share that with you guys at the end. But before I do that, I wanted to, just kind of get us started with sharing some ideas and some ways to start preparing for the season. So if you have been with Scentsy for any length of time, then, during this time of year is really kind of crazy as far as the releases and just things kind of selling out fast. But on the flip side of that, we've already kind of been in that season for the last few months, so this is not going to be anything new, where a lot of times November is kind of a shock because what's been happening the last few months happens usually in November. So, Scentsy's kind of getting their system. I feel like they're getting their system and they're getting, they're just kind of getting used to how things, the new way of working as far as the large quantity and stuff like that. So things are starting to last a little bit longer, how they have the product status list and all that. I feel like the last few months has been a blessing as far as how this month and December will run. Oh, speaking of which, I forgot to announce at the beginning that they did change the date. If you did not watch Heidi and Orville's live, they are changing the date for Bring Back My Bar. That was supposed to release December 1st, but that date is changing to November 23rd. So they're changing that so that it gives them a little bit more time in order to manufacture some of these bars, so they're not waiting until the last minute, and to kind of space out some of the releases so that they're able to maintain the level of shipping that they're already doing. And they will not be offering the Bring Back My Bar bundles that they normally offer for consultants. If you want the bundles, or if you want the bars, then you'll just have to buy them when they're available on the 23rd. All right, so with that said, I'm going to take off my glasses so I can read my notes here. So if Melissa, if you're chatting, you might see up my nose here, sorry. All right, so the very first thing I wanted to talk about is if you haven't already come up with your plan for November, what you're waiting for, because we're the 5th of November. So you should have some sort of plan with maybe some stuff that you want to offer your customers this month. You can go off your plan for whatever you did in October, like if you did some cute bundles. I know for me, I'm going to do a mistletoes bundle for my customers. I'm going to do it'll be like a hand cream and some socks wrapped in a cute baggie with, some sort of a tag. And you can't charge for the socks, but you can charge for the hand cream. And that's just like a super cute, fun thing. A lot of people do the bundles we talked about with the coffee mugs and the room sprays and the scent circles from the coffee mugs from the dollar store. All of those things. So you can kind of play off the bundles if you did bundles with your customers last month. I know that a lot of times some people, can you guys hear my dogs? Here's my son. You guys, I'm in the middle of a meeting. Okay, I think you just did. Thank you so much. Okay, real life people. That's my 18-year-old fighting with my 10-year-old, by the way. So anyway, where was I? Oh, I know that a lot of people they get bundled out sometimes, but if you put a spin on it, like neighbors gifts or teacher gifts, or you're reaching out to people and you're asking them if they buy stuff for their clients, anytime that you can offer pre-wrapped something, sometimes that helps with your PRV. And then if you haven't done that, or you haven't already started to do that, using your Hostess Rewards to get some of those items now before they start selling out, like your cranberries and your Christmas cottage and your pine. That is a really good use of Hostess Rewards right now, so that you have them on hand when people are really looking for that towards the end of the month. And then since we did talk about the LTOs, hopefully you have a plan on who you're going to reach out to, make a list of who you're going to reach out to for some of your LTOs and how you're going to reach out to them. Since we know some of the ones that are coming out, start thinking about maybe if anybody that has ordered Snow Kiss Citrus or they like the cranberry stuff, those are the types of people that you might reach out, letting them know that that bundle is coming out or asking if they want more information when that does release. So start thinking about who you might reach out to and how you would reach out to them. I again ask people if they're shopping for gifts. Do they buy client gifts? Do they buy group gifts? You know, are they part of a church group and they buy group gifts for their whole church group? My brother-in-law plays hockey, so I asked him if he buys gifts for his hockey coaches, which, you know, is a great thing now that we have the NHL bar and stuff like that. So start thinking of maybe groups of people that you can market gifts to, because let's face it, people are buying. And along those same lines, I know Amy and I have talked about this, and Melissa, I'm sure you do this already as well, but we are going to buy gifts. That's just how it is right now. We're going to buy gifts. Scentsy is, in my opinion, one of the best gifts that you can give, right? So if you're going to buy gifts for your family, why not buy them from yourself? This is a great opportunity to use that phrase, be your own best customer, because you're going to be spending that money anyway. So why not spend it with yourself? So look through the catalog, be your own best customer, look through the catalog, start thinking of people to reach out to or to buy a certain gift for. You know, maybe you know somebody that loves Snow-Kissed Cranberry, maybe buy that for a gift for somebody. Maybe you put together baskets, a spa basket for your customers or for your family, your mother or mother-in-law or whatever. You know, use Scentsy gifts to add to that. You know, that is such a really great use of your own products. And so be your own best customer during this time of year as well. And this is a great time of year for personal specials. A lot of people are looking for deals, especially as we're heading into like the real shopping season. And I have a feeling that most people are going to be sticking to online shopping. So having a Black Friday special planned out for maybe something that you want to offer your customers on Black Friday, use those bundle and saves that we already have, and, you know, offer them the like the, what is it called? The Perfect Scentsy, where it's 2 warmers and 6 bars at a discount. You can use that as a special and it's full price. So you can advertise that on Facebook. The clearance section is another great tip. Also, I would keep in mind, I would keep an eye on that clearance section. Like periodically go in there, because they might be starting to update that with more and more stuff as we're moving through the fall season and into the winter season. Keep an eye on that clearance tab, because they may be sending more stuff that way. So yes, the clearance section. I always, and I think I might have gotten this idea from you, Melissa, but I always offer the Scentsy Starter Kit, which is not the Opportunity, which is the best kit, but the Scentsy Starter Kit is a mini warmer and a bar, and that is $26. So, you know, bundling and calling it something like that, it, you know, it intrigues people when you start changing the name on that. And then you can push the bundle and saves, and you can like buy one, get one, buy one for a friend, keep one for yourself, you know. So figure out clever ways that you can play with those bundle and saves. And that will be like, that really helps. And then also, you know, do the buy 5 get 1 free. So if you advertise, like you could do this, because this is totally Scentsy pricing. Okay, you can advertise bars at buy 5 get 1 free, but take it and actually make it look like the bar is discounted. So take the $30 and you divide it by 6, and then you say your bars for $5 each, right? But you're using the bundle and save, that's Scentsy pricing, but it appears to be a discount. It's all like playing in words. Think of ways that you can advertise pricing with using Scentsy pricing. If you want to change it, then create something, do something where you're sending it in a private message. A lot of Black Friday specials are, you can do like spend $35 and get a free scent circle. You know, buy 1 mini warmer, get another mini warmer half price or something like that. So, but you can create those bundles or those Black Friday specials, and it really has to do with you, you know. And if you do create specials that are not Scentsy pricing, then make sure that you're only communicating those with text message or like, you know, one-on-one communication. Our newsletter is coming out next week. You can communicate those personal specials in your newsletter. So if you are, you know, maybe you're thinking about having some sort of like a gift special or whatever, you can advertise that pricing in your newsletter, because that is considered one-on-one communication. One of the things that I like to do in my newsletter this time of year is I like to put my stock. I like to sell my stock, especially now because I've got so much because we haven't been having open houses. And so I add my Google Doc, or I add a link in my newsletter with stuff that I have on hand that I want to sell. And so you can communicate that in your newsletter exactly how you have that. So that is right now, that is available to edit for anybody that you have email addresses for. Let me see. And then if you can have some sort of an open house. I know that a lot of people right now, they're not, you know, in Vegas, we're not, but I don't know about in Denver if you guys are doing that, Amy. I know it just kind of depends on where you're living, but doing some sort of an open house, like holiday cookies and shopping. You can do a craft night. That's really popular this time of year, just getting together with a craft night. You can even do a craft night via Zoom like this, you know, where if you have a bunch of local people, you know, even I know a lot of people do the like the flower coloring, where you can actually deliver the flowers to their houses and then all get on a Zoom and have a flower coloring party. A lot of people were getting away from that type of thing just a few months ago, but I have a feeling that things are going to start picking up and people are going to be wanting to get back and start doing that again. So that's another idea that you can do. All right. Is there anything that I talked about that maybe, Melissa, if you have an idea of something that, you know, maybe you've done in the past that you'd like to share, or Amy, something that you may have come up with that, like one of your plans or anything that you have going? I know Amy on her VIP page has been doing a product of the day every day, and that has been really awesome. She's like showing how to use each product. She's posting something different every single day. Very cute gift ideas. Amy, did you want to share anything like how?
No, it's every week though, because I don't think I keep up with everything. But yeah, that seems to be working, especially when I go live with it unexpectedly. And then right now I've got the Thanksgiving one, and that seems to be working, where I'm donating 1 can for every $20 they spend. And then if they host a party, I'm doing a fresh item.
Oh, cool. Okay, very cool. Melissa, do you have any ideas that maybe I didn't share that have worked for you during this time of year? I know you're super creative with all of that.
I'm thinking, I just wanted to add on, because you had talked about how my God, brain fart, you offer your stock.
Yes.
And so I use, because a lot of people aren't like, you might not know how to do that. Like how do you, so I just use I go to Google Docs, and I create a Google Doc form, and I just go through and I list, like I have current bars, and then I list those prices, or I list those bars. And I have like a little disclaimer up at the top that basically says, you know, first come, first serve. Payment is due within 24 hours. I will highlight the item yellow if it has been claimed. Once it has been paid for, then I delete it.
Yes, that's exactly what I do.
And so I do that because it's helpful. So then I can share it through text messaging. I can share it through email. And when because people around the holidays, they're always looking for something. So the
last minute gifts. Yeah.
Always. And they don't want to order it. Like they want it now. So your stock is like gold to them. And so we can't talk about it in private groups or any kind of like public, like any kind of group situation, but we can talk about it in email, and we can talk about it like one-on-one person. So when people are saying, you know, things like that, you can put together little bundles. Like you can get like a little mason jar and put like, fill it up. Like, you know how they like the big mason jar and then the mini mason jars.
Mhm.
You can fill up like a mini mason jar with a whole bunch of Scentsy soak. And then you can put like a corresponding hand soap or body cream with it, or not hand soap, but hand lotion, hand cream or body cream.
Mhm.
And you can make like little mini spa things.
Oh yeah, cute.
Like, you can make recipes, so you can put together, like I've seen you do like 2 bars,
Mhm.
like little recipes, and you know, like caramel apple,
Mhm.
and have like a apple cinnamon stick, and then like the apple craze, is that what it's, apple caramel craze together?
Yeah. Mhm.
Because we don't have the Johnny Appleseed anymore, but
Right.
like,
Those are super
together.
popular, those recipes. Like anytime you like release those and you're just like $12, you can even do like, hey, they're buy 5, get 1 free, because they are. And those recipes are super popular. Yeah.
And then you can do, like she was talking about, flower parties. You can offer, and it's a personal special, but you can calculate how many flowers it would cost to get a qualified party, and then you can use your hostess rewards to get more flowers, and then you can offer like 2 flower discounts or something like that. Like, yeah, but it's a personal special, so you can only do it in email, and that's why our newsletter is super cool. And it tells us right on our workstation when we log in, like, hey, your newsletter is up for editing, so you can like edit right then and there.
Yeah,
and
I like that they've added that, so you don't, because I always would forget, and I'm like, oh dang, I forgot to edit my newsletter this month. So I like how they have that prompt now.
And some people will even put like, they'll get like a stocking. You know, you can get them at like the dollar store or in the like the dollar section at Target, like a stocking, and then you can put like, you know, your Scentsy gifts in there. They even have like the little tiny stockings where you can put like a room spray in there, like a scent circle.
Cute.
And so if you make little tiny, it's like if you build it, they will come.
Totally.
If you make little tiny things, you're putting it out into the universe that you have it available, and then you kind of become aware of people's needs. Like you're doing your active listening throughout the day, and then you hear people's needs. And so, and then, you know, they're great teachers' gifts. And you can say, you know, if you can post online things like, you know, Christmas is right around the corner. If you need some neighbor gifts, let me know. And then you can just leave it at that. Don't post a picture.
Well, you know that we are allowed, they've changed the standards where you are allowed to say that you have cash and carry on hand. You have cash and carry available. Girl, you can say you have cash and carry available. You just cannot at any point say what you have, but you can say, I have cash and carry available. Need neighbors' gifts? Have cash and carry available. PM me for a list.
Wow. Can you send me the link to that? Because I was just reading, like, my guilty pleasure is third-party drama. So it's like, it's not drama for me. It's not drama for anybody I know, but it's drama for like other people. Right. And so I was watching third-party drama on one of the consultant pages about
I know those, yes.
That exact topic. So I was like, you know, where's my popcorn? You know, listening to it. So
I will tell you that there is a superstar director who is very awesome, and I won't share who her name is, but I will tell you that Melissa, you used her whiff box a couple of months ago from the SFR training.
Oh, okay.
That gives you an idea of who it is. But her cover photo for her business page has cash and carry available. That is her cover page. Like, she lists all the specials for the month, and then the very last thing on her cover page, she changes it every month, and the very last thing is cash and carry always available.
Interesting.
I'm looking it up right now, but you know what? I'm going to look it up, not on the training call, but I'll do that. But that is a thing where you can say that you have cash and carry available. You just can't list what you have. Like if you're having an open house, you can say open house, cash and carry available. You just can't say what you have.
In the standards with that, like it wasn't pay to play, but it was under personal specials. Like, I remember seeing that, like we just can't name the prices, right? And we just can't.
As long as you just can't say what you have. You can say prices as long as they are Scentsy prices, but if you're giving a discount, you cannot say that. But you can say cash and carry available. We'll have product on hand or whatever. You just can't say, like, you just
what
can't
it is or how much our discount is.
Yes, exactly. And you can't post like all your bars and say, look at all my bars, they'll all be here, come and buy them from me.
Right,
but
right.
You can say plenty of bars on hand, come on down to check them out, or PM me for a list.
Oh, okay. I think that was one of those gray areas where I was just like, I don't know. I don't know how to do it. And I don't see anybody doing it. So it's like, I just don't know how.
Well, go look at her business page because you'll see what she does. I'll even look it up too, because she posts it every month in the How I Know is because she posts her stuff every month in the director page. And so I'm like, oh, we can do that. And so I looked and sure enough, we can do that. So I wanted to share with you guys a system that I've never shared with you before, and that is how I organize my brain and my family for gift giving. So I have a family of 5, 6 if you count my oldest, but I don't schedule his gifts because we just buy him one thing. But like, you know, when you have little kids and you're trying to juggle all the things and you're trying to juggle a Scentsy business on top of buying gifts for your family, and if you have like other family gifts or whatever, this is how I organize them. So I love binders. That's just like my thing. And this one I happen to have on hand. And so I never created I've had this one for probably like 6 or 7 years. So I've never created this because this is something I keep in my closet. And it has all, and I'm looking at my door because I don't want my daughter to hear me. It has all of my gift ideas in here. And so I don't want it labeled because I don't want my kids to know what is in this binder. So it's just a plain white binder that I keep in my closet. So, but what I do is inside I have tabs, and I keep all of my kids' Christmas lists in here, like all their letters to Santa. So I have them all. Yeah. I think she's upstairs. So I have all their letters to Santa, and yes. So anyway, so I have, you know, their wish lists right here. And yes, sorry, thank you. I knew that. That's why I was like, oh, sorry. Okay, so this is like, I photocopy them before I mail them. I photocopy them. Okay, so then when I do, what I do is I have a tab in here that says gift ideas. And just throughout the year, I start compiling ideas. This year, it's been a little bit slower because you could see my list this year. It's very, very thorough this year. But what I also do is once I have the ideas, so last year, this is still my list for last year, and I have a page for every single person in my family. And as I come up with ideas, I write them down on this page. And then as I buy them, I highlight them. And as or I put a check mark in this case as I buy them. And then this helps me keep in budget. It also like a visual, because if one kid gets 15 presents and another kid gets 16 presents, that's no good. It doesn't matter if how much you spend, it's all about the number, right? So I want to make sure that under the tree, in addition to the gifts that Santa brings them, I want to make sure that that they all feel equally loved. So I keep track of all of this in the notes in your phone. And I used to have an app that tracked that for me, but I'm such a paper pencil person that this helps me stay organized. And then I also have like a things to do that I have another tab as things to do. And so I will write stuff as it comes up. And then this is the thing that I always do is I always keep all my to-do lists. Like I keep them in here. And that way I don't, like, for the next year, I don't forget something. So I'll go back to the following year's to-do list because I've written it down, and I'm like, oh yeah, okay, I won't remember, like, I'll remember to do that. Because one of the things that we do in our family is we do like a Christmas Eve thing. So I buy pajamas for everybody and I wrap them up. And so I track all of that under things to do, like, and then with my husband has shorter legs, so I have to hem up his pajamas. So that's one of my things to do. Hem keeps pajamas. And so that's all my things to do, all, you know, from years to year, because I want to remember not to be doing that Christmas Eve, right? So it's just something like that. I just keep like a record of my things to do. And then I also keep all my receipts together. So anytime I buy something, all of my receipts that I have are all in this same binder. So if something needs to be returned, it's all right here. So this is my system that I use over and over and over again, year after year, to just to keep track of my family's holidays. So if you are like looking for something, this also helps me manage, you know, because this time, I feel like this time of year, we kind of get overwhelmed with so many things that there's so much to forget. Personally, I get silent migraines. And so when I get stressed out, my body tells me, like, my face starts going numb and tingling, and my arms start tingling, my scalp starts tingling, and I feel like I'm gonna die because I have no control over that. So these types of things, these types of control journals have really helped me with my sanity this time of year, because it helps me to remember all the things that, you know, I feel like we always want to be that perfect mom, and we want to give our kids the perfect Christmas, and we want to help our customers have the perfect this and the perfect that. And there's no such thing as perfection, but helping me track it at least helps my sanity. And then it also helps me to prioritize, like, will things really end if I don't tie a cute ribbon on these pajamas? I actually stopped 100%. I do not put bows on my gifts anymore. I used to like spend all the money and all the things, and then I stopped putting bows. The only ones that I put bows on are the ones in the front, so that it looks cute for the picture, and then none of the other presents have bows. And that's just how my life is. So anytime you can edit, yes. Thank you, Melissa. She's right there with me. So anytime you can edit your to-do list with simplifying stuff like that, that is always a good thing. Which brings me to the very, very last thing that I wanted to remind you guys tonight, and that is how important self-care is. Okay, self-care is the most important thing that you can do for yourself this time of year and all year. So knowing the things, and you guys, I talk about this all the time, like when you know what it is that brings you joy, when you know what it is that helps you relax, like, is it a bubble bath? I personally like baths sometimes, but that's not very relaxing to me. What's relaxing to me is drinking a glass of wine and reading a book. And then I'll get like 4 sentences in and fall asleep because I'm so relaxed. And that's just, I like that. You know, is taking a nap? You know, when you feel stressed, do you know that you need to take a nap? I wrote on here, like, online shopping. Do you like to go online shopping? That right now, I feel like I used to go out, like go to Target, and I used to be able to spend hours at Target and spend hundreds of dollars. I don't like it anymore, because right now it's just not, I don't want to be around people. So I shop on Amazon a lot. Probably more than I should. I don't always spend a lot of money, but I do spend time creating wish lists. So, you know, doing something like that, whatever relaxes you, knowing what that is, and making sure that you're doing something for yourself at least one day a week this time of year right now, so that, you know, without your kids, without whatever self-care looks like to you, make sure that you're taking that time so that you can come back to your business and you can come back to your family refreshed, because it is so easy to get carried away and not enjoy this time of year and get overwhelmed with the to-do list and all that stuff. That making sure that you're taking care of yourself is kind of like that, what is it, that airplane analogy where you put on your mask first before you put on, it's that kind of thing, knowing how to take care of yourself so that you can be your best self for your family, so that you can create those memories and that time with your family. I will never forget my mom when I was a kid. She was so stressed out during this time of year. I never saw her. Like, I never did. She worked 12 hours a day. She worked at Pier 1, and this time of year was so busy for her. Then she would come home, lock herself in a room somewhere in the house. Sometimes it was the garage, and she would wrap presents from the time that she got home from work at 10 o'clock at night until like 2 o'clock in the morning. And then she would wake up and do it all again. And that's how this time of year looked like in my family. And I feel like I missed out on so many memories growing up because it was not, my mom could not relax during this time of year. And so I always promised myself that wasn't going to be me. And it is so easy to get carried away with all the plans and all that. Making sure that you're taking care of yourself first allows all those memories so that your kids remember the good side and not the, wow, mommy was really stressed out last week. Like, I'm so glad that she got that warmer, but really it's only a warmer, right? Okay, does anybody have anything like that you want to add? Melissa, is there anything you want to share? No? Amy, so you're a new mom, and what do you do to take care of yourself? Like when you're not momming and when you're not wifing, what is it that you do to take care of yourself?
I spend a lot of time going to Hobby Lobby. I don't know why. Hobby Lobby makes me very happy. And trying to read is a good thing, but I've found it's hard for me to turn the mom switch off if I'm home still, because she's still so little, because she'll be 7 months old. So it's easier for me if I leave the house, even if it's just sitting at Starbucks.
Okay, that makes total sense. Melissa, what do you do? Because you work, you have your 2 boys and a husband. What do you do to take care of yourself? Like when you're not momming and you're not sensing, what is it that you do?
It's a secret.
Shut up. What do you do?
It's a guilty pleasure and it's a secret.
Oh, she stalks Facebook pages and gets into other people's drama. No, I'm just kidding.
No.
That's okay. As long as if you don't want to share, that's totally fine. But I'm glad that you have something.
It's silly. So I used to play the guitar. I used to write poetry, things like that. I don't do that anymore. I play Animal Crossing.
Oh, that's fun. So are you into, like my kids are, like my girls love Animal Crossing, like the trick-or-treating, like when all those fun things release and all the decorating. Do you get into that part?
I did this year. I think I got it last year sometime. Do you know why I got it? Because I follow Christina Steinbrook on Facebook.
Okay,
She's talking so much about Animal Crossing, and I had I didn't want to know anything about it. I was just like, whatever. But I was like, Christina Steinbrook is so amazing. I have to understand why Animal Crossing. And so it's just addicting. It's kind of like, I don't know. It kind of helps with like how you were talking about your binders with the control. Like I can do the same with there are things that I can control within like my little world.
Oh, cool. Mm-hmm. And it also it allows you to disconnect from.
It helps me to decompress.
Definitely. That's what Lauren plays video games a lot. Lauren Clift. That's what she does to relax, is she plays video games. And to me, video games are highly stressful. So that isn't something that because I'm highly competitive. So something like Animal Crossing would be good because it's not a competition game.
Yeah, there's no competition. I mean, granted, like some of my villagers irritate me, but I figured out how to kick them off. And then I figured out how to find better villagers. So yeah.
Well, that's cool. I mean, as long as you have something that allows you to disconnect, because I don't know if you guys feel this way, but if I in the morning, sometimes I will get on my iPad. Okay, I say sometimes, but that's literally what I do every morning is I get on my iPad, and sometimes I try to be productive, like I'm watching trainings or whatever, but I will get into something and it will trigger something else, and I'll be like, oh, and then I'll have to go and search that really quick, and then it will create this rabbit hole thing where all of a sudden I am on my iPad for 2 hours and I have done absolutely nothing except for search random crap. And it is it's so stressful. I don't even know why I do it. And even like now with the election, I'll be like, oh, I want to know what the election results are. Refresh. Okay, they're the same as they were an hour ago. Stop it. You know, but it is so distracting that when I can read and when I can escape and I'm not on an electronic device, I know for myself that is way more relaxing because it allows me to escape. When I'm not, you know, when I'm on something electronic, then I like my brain does, let me see. Oh, yeah, the Nevada counting memes are very funny. Did you see? So this morning I actually was a little bit political. I'm not political at all, but one of the things that I posted, and then I deleted it like an hour later because it created some things that I wasn't loving. But what I said was, waiting for the election results is kind of like waiting for gifts on Christmas morning. And then I said, don't let it be socks, Nevada. Because you know that feeling where you're like, oh, it's so cute. You want to open it. And you're like, wah, wah, wah. It's socks or underwear or whatever. So that's what I was thinking. And then like some people were like laughing, and then other people were commenting, as long as it's not, you know, this or whatever. And I'm like, okay, that is not, it went in a place that I didn't want it to go. So I was like, okay, delete. I think Amy Sock, she was like a lot of people took it how I meant. They were laughing at it, and then some people didn't. So I'm like, you know, I'm going to delete it because it's taking a dark turn, and I don't like dark. And right now everything is just kind of taking a weird turn, so I don't like it. But anyway, so I like to end every Thursday night with some sort of an action plan. And my action plan for you guys for the next 2 weeks, because we are like smack dab right in the middle of like our busiest season, is pick one thing that we talked about tonight and just focus on that one thing. Whether it's, you know what, I'm going to figure out how it is I'm going to communicate the LTOs, figure that out. Or, you know, figure out, like, I want to do some sort of a Black Friday special. Let me get that banged out and figure out what that's going to be, and that's going to be my action plan. So take one idea that maybe something we talked about, maybe it triggered something else, write that down. Hi, Miss Bray. Write that down, and then that will be your action plan for the next 2 weeks. So Amanda, we're actually about ready to wrap up. Where'd she go? I don't know if I should end it or not. Like, I want to push stop, but she's like still there. I see her. Okay, so anyway, your action plan is take one idea, write it down, and make that your focus for the next 2 weeks. Okay, so thank you guys for your input tonight. I really appreciate the time and your energy coming on and sharing some ideas and some time with me tonight. And I look forward to watching all the amazing things that are going to transpire over the next few weeks, because I know that if October was any allusion to how, is that the word? Is that the correct word? Allusion? If it's alluding to anything, we'll say that. If October is alluding to how November is going to be, holy smokes, this is going to be another rock star month. So I'm so excited to watch what happens over the next few weeks. And again, thank you guys so much for taking the time to come on tonight. Yes, Melissa, question.
I do have a question. I don't know if you know the answer to this, but I am curious as to, so my experience over the years is that when we have an LTO, like the Harvest Collection or the Holiday Collection, when it sells out, it sells out.
Mm-hmm.
Why is it that some of these things have been coming back?
I don't know the answer to that, but that is an excellent question. The only thing that I can say is that sometimes they do inventory shifts and they find the products, or maybe they were waiting on, like, I'm going to use the frosted flannel warmer as an example, because that sold out and then it came back. Perhaps there was some sort of an inventory shift, because we do have several warehouses around the United States. And so maybe they did an inventory shift where, they were able to find some more warmers to release, or perhaps they got another shipment in that maybe they weren't expecting or something. But honestly, I don't know, because that is typically exactly what you said. Once it sells out, it sells out. But last year, remember, we did have the holiday soap sold out super fast, and then it came back like 2 weeks later. So, but that was soap that's manufactured in Idaho. So I don't know that answer.
So then when I'm talking to my teamies and that question came up, somebody had asked me that, and I was like, when it's sold out, it's sold out. But on the status list, it was in there and there was a date there. And I was like, I don't know how to answer that. It normally, when they're gone, they're gone.
Like what are you referring to? Because I might be able to.
Hello Fall warmer.
Okay, so perhaps that is maybe what they did is they knew that they were getting more in. It sold out, and so those are the ones, like, that's the date. If you're expecting, like, if you ordered a Hello Fall warmer and it's maybe it went on back order because maybe they knew that they were going to get inventory in. That date, when you see it, that's the date that it's going to be in the warehouse available to ship to those people that ordered it. That does not mean that it will be available to order again.
Okay. So then it's safe to say that I can tell people LTO when it's gone, unless, like, Scentsy Law and the news tab somewhere says otherwise.
Yeah, okay. I would definitely stick to that. And like I said, sometimes it is like the frosted flannel where it was out of stock and then it was back in stock. All I could say is that there might have been some sort of an inventory shift where they were able to move some around to make that available again. But that is, there's a reason why we haven't seen that before, because that's very rare. Usually when it's gone, it's gone. And like, I had some people inquiring about the Snow Much Love warmer, and they're like, is that going to be available again? And I'm like, it's not. I wouldn't expect it. Now, if it is, then that would be a pleasant surprise, but I would not expect things to come back. I would expect those LTOs to be gone. The only LTOs that I would expect to come back at some point would be like the NFL stuff, because we signed a contract. It wasn't a one and done type of a thing. So I would expect that to come back sometime, maybe not before Christmas, but sometime. I would expect, like NHL stuff, if it's selling out, I would expect that to come back. Any of that license. I did hear a rumor, and I'm not sure how accurate this is, but it seems to be very true watching what's happening with the MLB warmers. I did hear something about us no longer having the contract with the MLB. So I wouldn't expect any of those warmers to be back in stock again. It seems like they're doing some sort of an inventory clearing on that, with having them marked down to $30. I don't know. That's just what it seems like to me, that maybe our contract has ended with them. And that does happen. Like, it is limited contracts too. So unless they renew the contract, then we don't get that. So it appears that contract has ended. So same with the college warmers. Those, like, that contract has ended as well. So that's, I guess, does that answer his question, right? Awesome. Okay. Hi, Amanda. How are you, friends? So we are actually just about ready to get off. I'm so happy to see your face, though.
Sorry, I'm so late. Yeah, that's okay. Hi. Sorry. I'll watch the replay.
Okay, well, we did shout you out at the beginning for promoting to Superstar Consultant last month.
Yay!
Yeah. But yes, please, because we talked about PRV, some ways to plan for this year. I shared my holiday planning binder that I used for my family, and then just talked about what you know already, the importance of self-care. So that's what we shared tonight. If nobody else has anything to share, then I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording. And Amy, yes, go.
So with the new feature where you can do a separate order for the party,
yes,
has that not started yet? Because I couldn't get it to work.
Are you talking about the individual order?
Yes.
So did you go into the individual order tab?
I thought I did, but it's been a while, so maybe I did it wrong.
It has started, and it's just like that individual order, which is such a cool feature. It's just like if you were shopping on your PWS, where you can go into the individual order and then connect that order to a party. The feature that I love about that, that you can't do on your PWS is you can use multiple forms of payment, where on the PWS you can only use one credit card. If you're doing an individual order and connecting it to a party, you can enter in multiple credit cards under that. You can't enter in multiple people, but you can enter in multiple credit cards. So if you want to pay for somebody's shipping or something like that, then you can do that with your card, and then you can charge the order to their card. And then the coolest part is that you close that out and it ships pretty close to right away, where they don't have to wait for the party to close out. So I've used that feature several times since it launched last week. So like with the LTOs, I had somebody, oh my gosh, this is a mistake that I made that I am going to share on the recording, I guess, because you guys will know. I had somebody, one of my customers, him and his wife just moved from Northern Terrace to Utah. And so he messaged me. I had messaged him last month when the Villains Warmer released. And so he messaged me last week and he was like, hey, Michelle, I was just wondering if we could still order from you, even though we live in Utah. I was like, heck yeah, I've got people that live all over the US. I'm happy to help. Just let me know. So he sent me pictures of what he wanted. Well, he sent me pictures of the Villains bars. And so his wife is Disney, like that's all she ever buys is all the Disney. So he sent me pictures of the Villains bars, the Halloween Town, Jack's Obsession bar, and then the Let It Snow 3-pack, which was not Disney, but anyway. So I interpreted that as I saw the Villains bar and the black box. Well, to me, that black box was the warmer, right? So that's what I interpreted as when I looked at his order, and I was like, oh crap, I better get this order in right away because I don't want that warmer to sell out, right? So I did an individual order. I placed his order right away. He was going to pay me Venmo, placed his order right away, and then he messaged me, and I messaged him his total, and I sent him a Venmo, messaged him his total, and it was like $146. He was like, $146? Are the prices not correct on the website? And I was like, yeah, they are. Why? He was like, because my total that I was coming out to was 50 something. I was like, so he called me and I was like, well, the warmer was 75 and this, he's like, I didn't order the warmer. You guys, I ordered the warmer for him and he lived in Utah. So I had to call CS and try to cancel it because I was like, oh my gosh, I ordered this $75 warmer for him. And then if it was all coming to me, I would have been like, it's okay, I'll just find a way to sell it. But it was getting sent to him. And so I was like, oh my gosh. So luckily I was able to get that warmer canceled. But oh my gosh, I was so I was trying to figure out a way. I was like, I'm just going to write it off on my taxes as a oops and just tell him it was a gift. And I don't even know how I'm going to do this, but a $75 warmer is a big fat oops, So anyway, sorry that I don't know how I got onto that, but don't do that. Anyway, if nobody has anything else to add, including myself, okay, then thank you guys so much for being on tonight, and I will see you guys later. Okay, bye.